With a career spanning more than 30 years, Craig McLachlan joins us from the Rocky Horror Show. And I'll tell you what, Craig, I have to say, as a kid, I used to watch Neighbours and I used to watch you on TV and this heartthrob guy, and we all used to talk about you, and then you go on to this fabulous career of discovery into the theatre world. Did you ever think when you were all the way back then that you'd be doing stuff like this in your life?
Can I be absolutely honest with you?
Of course you can.
I know I can.
Yeah.
I grew up loving those stars of yesteryear, those golden, whether it was a Cary Grant or whoever. You kids are going to have to Google that.
That's
Cary
right.
Grant. I'm freaking out already. But, you know, if you look at the golden era of Hollywood,
Yes.
it wouldn't matter whether you were largely known as a dramatic leading man. At some point, you'd find yourself in an MGM musical.
Yeah.
MGM, kids, Google that.
MGM.
So there was a genuine versatility.
Yeah.
You know, those actresses who could deliver a great dramatic performance, turn up a really, really fun comedic performance,
Yes.
and then rock up in a musical and sing like an angel. That was the stuff that really, really floated my boat. That got me really excited as a kid. So I had this, and bear in mind, here we are, like this is like Oprah. Bear in mind where I grew up on the central coast of New South Wales, there certainly in the late 60s, early 70s, yes, that's how old I am, kids.
Yeah.
There were no drama schools. I was lucky enough to find a fabulous musician who when he wasn't playing himself, taught. He had a bunch of students. But other than that, that was it. So, not knowing any better, not knowing the politics of our business, not knowing what was necessarily formally required, I just held on to these mad dreams.
Yeah.
Now, when Neighbours came along, and I know Australia and the UK have been celebrating the 30-year anniversary recently, dare I say it, and I know you'll appreciate this, but that became my classroom.
Yes.
So I didn't have any experience at any particular institution.
Sure.
Although some people have suggested I should be institutionalised. That's another interview for another day. But I just treated every day as
a learning experience.
A great learning experience. All the while thinking, if I can accumulate as much television knowledge as possible. And I'm working with some terrific older, more experienced actors, many of whom came from a theatre background. So learning from them, hopefully,
fingers crossed,
I'll be able to take a step
out
into
that way.
Theatre. Now, sometimes the paths that lead to where we'd like to go don't always necessarily go in a dead straight line.
No, that's right.
They tend to weave a little bit, but eventually
you get there. Yeah.
And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You will get there if you are genuinely passionate about it.
Yeah. So when you look at, say, some of the people that you've worked with, like the Kylie Minogues and the Jason Donovans and all that, how do you define success as an actor? Because we look at Kylie Minogue and everyone goes icon, but success for you, what does that mean?
That's a really, really good question, and it's a good one at the moment because we are all sort of a little bit delirious and a little bit astonished that 30 years has passed since, certainly for us three, we were kids.
You were
kids. I was, of the three of us, I was a couple of years older than Jason Kylie. But to answer your question, I know for me personally, on the one hand, just surviving the peaks and valleys of this thing called show business. The lovely thing, you and I are sitting here talking 30 years down the track. That's got to be a success.
That's a success.
There. But also, again, for me personally, and Kylie and Jason would have very different answers, I'm sure. But to be at this point And here we are in the Rocky Horror rehearsal room, and we're all having an absolute hoot.
Yeah.
At the same time, I have this wonderful television drama, the Dr. Blake Mysteries, which many of our viewers will know. At the moment, again, getting back to, I'm sounding like a motivational speaker, but
It's working.
But never giving up.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Blake, for example.
Yes.
You talk to actors and they talk about the role they've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Do you know what? This one really is, and it's a joy for me.
Yeah.
And now I've moved into either courageously or stupidly, I've moved into associate producer role on the show as well. Just again, to learn. So at this point in my career, late 40s, a rat tapping on the door of 50, to be sitting here chatting to you about these wonderful things.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Success, is it about money? Is it about having a new Mercedes? Is it about whatever? It might be for some people.
Yeah.
And God bless them, but not for me.
No. Can I ask you, like, in your career, and we all have this problem in our careers, various careers that we work in. Sometimes the lows far outweigh the highs, don't they?
I think, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think.
And how do you get through that?
Again, I mean, firstly, you're absolutely right. The peaks and valleys of any career, but certainly in our business, show business, radio, film and television, theatre, music, the arts. For me, I tend to run on a couple of extra cylinders anyway. So, thankfully, by nature, I tend to be more up
than down.
Yeah. Which is not to say, listen, I've been in more stinkers that have gone straight to video than I care to remember.
Sure.
But ultimately, to wake up every morning believing that that project that doesn't go straight to video might just be around the corner.
Sure.
And also, getting back to our favourite Hollywood stars of yesteryear and being versatile. Now, on the one hand, you let me know if I'm waffling too much.
No, that's all right. We'll just cut it out.
On the one hand, sometimes, and it's really the case here in Australia more so than anywhere else in the world, but if you are a television actor and you might have a popular radio spot and you might do something else, it seems almost too much for some people.
Yes, yeah.
Well, is he a radio guy or is he a theatre? He can't be both. On the quiet, for me, post-pop star days, I diversified. So, for example, composing music for film and television, I don't really publicise the fact. Often journalists go, oh, the kids were watching a movie the other day and the composer has the same spelling surname as you. Oh, is that right?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, isn't that a coincidence? But also just to have creative outlets that you can pour yourself into that's not that movie that goes straight to video. I think it's really important.
Well, to watch you this morning do your routine, audiences can expect a lot out of you. I'm intrigued, final question for you. How do you get into that character and where do you go when you're doing it? Where do you go to? Is it acting or is it just part of you? There you go, folks. Craig McLachlan.
I think that answers the question.
That answered the question. You are hysterical. We've been talking Rocky Horror today here in the wonderful ABC studios. Of course, you can see this fabulous stage musical at the Lyric Theatre. Thank you, Craig, for your time.
My absolute pleasure.